What's going on, everybody? All right, here we are. It is Friday, and one of the things you all know that I really like to do is I like to keep tabs on what's happening in the market. And one of the ways that I like to keep tabs on what's happening in the market is by looking at the previous month's sales and seeing what cards are selling for. Now, I especially like to focus on the low-end market. I like to focus on the affordable cards. And the reason I do that is because most of us aren't out there buying $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 cards. What we're buying is cards under $50. So these are all going to be sales from the month of January on eBay, the platform that is most widely used, of cards that sold for under $50. Again, from 1950 to 1969. That is the range of dates in which all of these sales are going to come from. And again, what I look for is I look for trends. What is happening? Am I noticing certain players are selling for cheaper more frequently? Am I seeing certain years or certain sets where something's happening? So I'm always looking for trends, and I'm also always looking for great deals. But one of the things I try to also do is share a variety of sets, because there might be some really cool sets out there that some of us aren't familiar with. This is a great way to see a bunch of different cards from a bunch of different sets over a 20-year period and see what they're selling for. Now, the other thing that's fun is looking at some of those dream cards. So I do 10 moonshots, 10 big time sales from the previous month that gives us an idea of what the high end is selling for. So we can kind of see what those of us in the shallow end of the pool are shopping for, people like me, and then what cards in the deep end are selling for. And I find this to be always educational. And I'll also say that I find this to be an opportunity where I definitely notice movement in the market, especially when you do it once a month. It's just far enough apart that you go, well, I'm noticing this. And as always, I did notice something this particular month that stood out a little bit. It's a trend that I've noticed over the last 3 or 4 months, but it really, to me, shows up especially this month. I'll be interested to see if you see it as well. So we've got 40 cards under $50 from the 50s and 60s. We've got 10 moonshots from the 50s and 60s, big time sales. Now, don't forget, Sunday, 2 days from now, is the deadline for submitting your favorite pickup from January for the Midlife Community Show and Tell. Now, this is one of the most fun things that this channel does. We once a month, you can submit and upload an image of your favorite pickup from the previous month, and we see what everybody's been buying. It'll ask you a few questions. It'll ask you for your name. It'll ask you for a chance to upload the picture. Good pictures are the best because then other people can see a good picture of your pickup. Now, also keep in mind that anybody who submits a card for this is entered into a drawing from our friends at the Penny Sleever, who Isaac has decided for Midlife Nation, if you submit your pickup from the previous month, you're entered into the drawing for $25 gift certificates to the Penny Sleever. And for all of your hobby supplies, they've got semi-rigids, they've got one-touches, they've got penny sleeves, all the stuff that you need. And again, not an affiliate, not on commission. He just does this for us. And by the way, I always forget to mention this, but your first purchase at the Penny Sleever, you can get 10% off. The promo code is midlife25. Again, not an affiliate link, just something that Isaac does for viewers of the channel. So check out the Penny Sleever, submit your pickup, get entered into the drawing. But most importantly, I'm excited to see what everybody else bought last month, because every single month, it's like Christmas morning when I get to see all of these awesome pickups. So be sure to submit your pickup. In the description below is a link. It's pretty easy. Let's take a look at those sales under $50 right here. All right, we'll see if you see the same trends that I tend to see. First off, how about a second-year Johnny Unitas? Second-year Johnny Unitas card, 1958 tops, in a PSA 3. Beautiful card for $49.99. Great eye appeal, well-centered. Sure, it's a 3, but beautiful. Now, I've always loved this card, the 1950 Bowman Duke Snider. Now, Duke Snider's rookie card is the 49 Bowman, so this is his second-year card as well. Really well centered. It's a 2, but the color and the centering and the eye appeal is fantastic for just $49. How about a Red Grange card? One of my favorite sets of all time is the 1955 Topps All-American set. This PSA 2 Red Grange sold for $48. I think that, again, I tried to pick high eye appeal cards. Look at the centering on that thing. This is absolutely gorgeous card of one of the all-time greats. We have a 1967 Topps Willie Mays in a PSA 3, sold for $46.58. Again, nice looking card. This is, it's toward the later parts of his career, but it's still a 1960s card for under $47. Now, Hank Aaron is a guy that his cards in the 60s are becoming more and more affordable. Here's a 68 Topps in an SGC 4, sold for $46. We can be buying cards of Willie Mays and Hank Aaron for under $50, guys. Now, one of the best catchers of all time, and sometimes I don't think he gets the due he deserves, is Roy Campanella. This is a 57 Topps PSA 5. Now, he was a star in the Negro Leagues, then a star in the Major Leagues, won MVP awards, then had his career cut short because he was paralyzed in an accident. What could have been? A 1951 Bowman Pee Wee Reese in an SGC2. Again, high eye appeal card. Sold for $45. That's a beautiful card. That is an absolutely beautiful Pee Wee Reese card for $45. Another 57 Topps card, this time an Al Kaline. A high eye appeal card. Now, his rookie card is in the 54 set. So this is very early in his career. It's an SGC 5. $45. I've always loved the pose on that card. And the 57 set is so hard to find well centered, and that one is pretty darn nice. How about a high grade Larry Doby? So this is a 59 Topps Larry Doby in an SGC 7. A very important player, a very good player, a Hall of Fame player. $45 for that beautiful Larry Doby card. Next, Bob Feller. Now, in my opinion, any Bob Feller card is a special Bob Feller card. And this is a 52 Bowman Bob Feller. It's a low grade. It's a PSA 2, but it sold for $43.56. Remember, it's about $25 just to get the card graded. So $43.50 sounds like a deal. Now, shout out to my buddy Jason, everyday card collector. We got a 64 Auravision Mickey Mantle in a PSA 4. It was $43. I mean, these cards are oversized. This is the first mind-blowing pick of the month because the slab had to be close to $43. How about another Willie Mays card, this time a 1962 Topps, so Willie Mays All-Star, in a PSA 4, sold for $43. That's a pretty darn sharp card. I mean, the way they're grading nowadays, a 4 is a very, very nice card in a newer PSA holder. How about a 60 Topps Willie McCovey rookie card? Now, Willie McCovey's rookie card is one of the cards that I think is severely underappreciated. This sold for $42.85. And it's not perfectly centered, but it's well centered. It's a nice looking card. How about a 69 Topps Jerry West in an SGC 5? This sold for $42.51. Beautiful card. Now remember, there's a huge gap in basketball cards from 61 until 69. So this is like his second wide release card. $42.50? How about a 59 Topps Willie Mays All-Star? So another Willie Mays card. I think it's the third of his we've seen. This is an SGC 3, sold for $42. These 58, 59, 60 All-Star cards do not get much love. They're severely affordable, and I think they're cards to potentially target. How about a Jim Palmer rookie card? This is a PSA 4. This card is very commonly off-centered. This one's pretty well centered. Sold for $41. Now, if you look statistically at Jim Palmer's numbers, his ERA, his wins, he was an amazing pitcher. His rookie card was $41. A 69 Topps Joe Namath, my favorite Joe Namath card. Yes, I said it. I like this more than his rookie card. I think the color just pops. The 69 Topps football cards are awesome. And this one sold for $41 in an SGC 5. That seems like a very good deal to me. How about Sandy Koufax with a 66 Topps in an SGC 3? Pretty well centered. I mean, it's not great, but what is it, 60-40 of Sandy Koufax? And that is my second mind-blowing pick. Again, the card was $40. It's $15 to get it graded at SGC. That just seems nuts. Another football card, this time a 1960 Topps Bart Starr in an SGC 5. So this would be Bart Starr's fourth card, $39.69. Really well centered, really high eye appeal. 1960 Bart Starr for under $40 in an SGC 5. A 51 Topps Redback Phil Rizzuto in an SGC 3.5. I love this set. It's the first real set of cards for Topps. Yes, before the 52. It's a game, but they're still cards. $39 on this Rizzuto. Now, Bob Gibson. Bob Gibson is so affordable other than his rookie card. This is his second year card. Look at the centering on it. Look at the eye appeal on it. A second year Bob Gibson in a PSA 3 sold for $39. He's one of the best pitchers of all time. Speaking of, how about a 55 Bowman Bob Feller in an SGC 3? Again, Bob Feller's last card is in 56, so this is at the very end of his career and his card run. And it's a Bowman, and I know that the 55 Bowman set is sort of love it or hate it, but it's still Bob Feller, and it's $39. Another 55 Bowman, this time a Whitey Ford. This looked like a really sharp card to me. I thought this was a beauty, and it is a PSA 4, sold for $38. I mean, Whitey Ford. This is Whitey Ford. Why are his cards so cheap? Speaking of, here's another one. A 59 Topps Whitey Ford in a PSA 5. This card was $35.50. It's a recent grade. It looks really nice to me. And to get it graded would be $25 for most of us. So that means what? The card's $10 and the plastic's $25? That's nuts. Similar to the Jerry West earlier, the 69 Topps Elgin Baylor's really his second wide release card. His rookie's in the 61 Fleer set. This is a SGC 6.5, and yes, that blows my mind that it's $35 for Elgin Baylor, his second Topps card, or his first Topps card, his second wide release card. Another Topps game that Topps made was in 68, and this Topps game card of Hank Aaron in a PSA 5 sold for under $35. Now, I know that these cards are fairly affordable, but $34.33 for that Hank Aaron card? How about a 58 Topps Sonny Jurgensen? This is an SGC 3. This is his rookie card. This guy is a prolific passer. Here's the other thing. He signs TTM. He still signs through the mail. So you could crack this card, send it in, and get it autographed by him. And the card was $34. Now, I love the 67 Topps pinups. And this is Willie Mays. Now, these are oversized. So the slab is oversized, meaning to get it graded is fairly expensive. I'd be willing to bet they paid more than $34 just to get it slabbed. $34 is what that Willie Mays sold for. We got our second Joe Namath card. This is a 68 Topps Joe Namath in a PSA 4. Fairly well-centered, high eye appeal, and it's Joe Namath. It's Joe Namath, and it sold for $33. Again, recent PSA slabs. The grades are so tough. That's a nice card. We got a 58 Topps Rival Fence Busters. You got Duke Snider and Willie Mays, two of the best center fielders of their era. A PSA 4 for $32.33. Yes, that's my fourth mind-blowing pick of the month. That is a beautiful card, well centered. Another pinup, this time a 67 Topps pinup of Roberto Clemente. And this sold for $32. Again, I don't know for sure what it costs to get these slabbed by PSA. I'd be willing to bet it's like $40 just for the slab. And I think these things are gorgeous. If you're looking for a cool item of some all-time greats, consider that 67 pinup set. We have a 62 Topps Hank Aaron All-Star, really well-centered, really nice eye appeal, $31. Blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind that a Hank Aaron 62 Topps All-Star in a PSA 3, $31. Another football card. You starting to see the trend? A 68 Topps Johnny Unitas in a PSA 6, $29.71. I mean, Johnny Unitas is widely considered one of the all-time great passing quarterbacks. And his cards are under $30 in sixes? A 61 Topps Ernie Banks MVP. I love this card. The color match with his cap, with the blue background on this MVP set from the 61 Topps set. That MVP set from the 61 Topps set is awesome. $29 for a PSA 5 Ernie Banks. Jeez. Shout out to Mookie. This is a 69 Topps Tom Seaver. I know that the 68 and 69 have the same image. This is his third card. It's a beautiful card. This PSA 5, it's a little off center left to right, but it's still a 5, meaning it must be pretty sharp. And $28.88. Man. 52, Wheaties had these hand-cut cards. These are blank backs, and Wheaties had a whole variety of sports, and a lot of them had action shots and had portrait shots. This is the action of autogram in an SGC3 for under $29. Now, you guys have heard me say many times how much I like the Redman cards. This is a 54 Redman Duke Snider in a PSA 2.5. Still has the tab attached. Again, if you're looking for affordable ways to get into some of these cards and for some of these players, look at the Redman cards. They're really cool. 66 Topps Willie Mays, another Willie Mays. This is an SGC 2.5, and it's a pretty good-looking card of Willie Mays. Willie Mays, arguably the best all-around player of all time, in an SGC 2.5, $26. A second-year Dick Butkus. The 67 Philadelphia card. His rookie is the 66 Philadelphia. And this is the 67. It's got the yellow borders. It's a PSA 3, $22.72 of quite possibly the best defensive player of all time. And rounding out the 40 cards, we have a 67 Philadelphia Johnny Unitas. That is a cool image. That is such a cool card of Johnny Unitas. Well under $20, $18.50. Johnny Unitas, recently graded. Beautiful card. All right, let's look at the big hitters, the big buys of the month of January. I call them my moonshots. First off, now this is interesting. A 62 Topps Ernie Banks, PSA 9. It's a PSA 9, $8,800. Now this is interesting. Now granted, the population is probably low on a 9. But if this card was in a 6, what would it be, $100? And 6s are nice. A 7, it might be $100. A 9 sold for $8,800. Interesting. Now this is cool. The 58 Topps World Series batting foes. One of the coolest cards of all time. It's got Mantle. It's got Aaron. And this one's autographed by both. You got Mickey Mantle and Hank Aaron's autograph $12,877. One of the coolest cards ever, autographed by the two players. Man, that is special. 52 Topps Jackie Robinson. You guys have heard me talk about how high I am on this card. Now, this one's a little off center, but look at the color on it. This card is impossible to find centered. The color, the depth of that red on this very special 52 Topps Jackie Robinson. It's a PSA 4.5. It sold for $13,278. I think that card is just absolutely stunning. 54 Topps Hank Aaron, the rookie card of arguably the all-time home run king, $13,425. I would love to have that copy right there. My goodness, that's absolutely beautiful. Congratulations to whoever ended up with that card in their collection. Man. Now, one of the coolest looking cards ever, the 53 Topps Mickey Mantle. And it's got a stunningly beautiful autograph from Mickey Mantle in a blue Sharpie, a PSA 10 grade on the auto, $15,100. Man, that is gorgeous. Now, here's another one of those cards that is in a high grade and sold for a really high amount. So this is a Lou Brock rookie card, the 62 Topps, a PSA 9, $15,400. Now, the jumps in prices from like a 7 to a 9 of this card or that 62 Ernie Banks, it really is interesting to me. Tell me what you think about that in the comments below. How about a Mickey Mantle rookie card, the 51 Bowman? This is a gorgeous card. Gorgeous example, PSA 2.5. Somebody landed that for $16,030. The color on that really jumps to me, and it's really well centered for a 51 Bowman. That is probably a crown jewel, if not the crown jewel in someone's collection. Now, if you were to ask me to list my top 10 favorite looking cards of all time, I would have the 54 Wilson Franks Ted Williams on the list. And this one's a PSA 5. This is a low pop card. And this is a really, really nice one. Some of these are absolutely roached. This is a gorgeous copy of this Ted Williams card, sold for $23,000, and deservedly so. Now here's another high-grade card selling for a lot. The third one of these 10. This is a 59 Topps Hank Aaron. Now don't get me wrong, that's a beautiful card. It's a beautiful card. In a PSA 9. It sold for $25,000. What's that card sell for in a 7? I mean, it's under $1,000. In a 7, maybe I'm guessing $350. And last but not least, the 52 Topps Willie Mays. So hard to find this well-centered at all. This card is notoriously off-center. This is a PSA 7 52 Topps Willie Mays for $37,500. What a beautiful card. And it's an expensive card in a 1. This one's a 7. Couple things stood out this month. Football, vintage football, seems to be cheap. And those high-grade cards are selling for crazy amounts.